Hey everyone, Becky Belote here, Creative Memories Advisor. I haven't checked my camera, so we don't know what we're going to get. Um, but thank you so much for tuning in. I can't believe it's almost Thanksgiving. I love this time of year. So I'm going to show you a couple of things that you may or may not know about, and then we'll make a page together, maybe. So kind of a snowy page, kind of a white on white kind of page. So let's check it out. If you enjoy my videos, please give me a let's like a thumbs up so that others will know that these videos are good. And if you've never watched me before, I am not one of those that just thinks of just the most coolest ideas. I like to do really simple ideas. I don't have that gift that some people have that just can think of these outlandish things. And so I tend to do really simple things over and over that are effective. I teach, things that anybody can do. So hopefully you are enjoying them. I appreciate you following me and watching me every Tuesday. So if you don't have an advisor and would like to shop for me, I would really appreciate it. And my site is www.creativememories.com/user, user / and then my name, which is Becky, Beckie, and Belote, Belote. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so let me change my screen and hopefully it's all right. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's try that again. Oh, oh no, that'll never work. Sorry. I'm ahead of myself today. All right, let's try it again. Oh yeah, much better. All right, so this is not too terrible, really. All right, so the first thing that I wanted to point out, this is our newest pack of cards. Now we have oodles of packs of cards. They're 20, they range in price, around 24 to $26 a box of 12. And you put them together. All right. So they're very affordable and they don't take long to put together. And in case you've never tried them, I do want to just explain them to you. So just give me a second. This won't take long. As those of you who know, crazy simple to make these. So inside you have the ideas. All right. So here's card one, card two. So they have ideas for every card. Um, and then inside this little baggie, the thicker, bigger baggie, are all the pieces to the cards, and they're numbered. Like this one says 4C. So that means the card on here that says card 4, this goes on that card. And the C tells you that it's the third thing down. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So A will go first, B will go second, C will go third on card 4. So the first thing I do when I make my cards is I do 12 stacks and sort the ones, the twos, so that all the pieces are where they belong. All right. And then you have a pack called bonus. This pack are mostly sayings. So I don't know. I think gratitude is gratitude. And I don't think that you're going to have any trouble with the sayings that they put with each card. But if you do, there will be another option in the bonus bag for the sayings. All right. So I've already went ahead and sorted a couple of these for you. So I'm going to show you how fast they go together. And then also in the box, I'm going to break this seal. You have envelopes, and the envelopes in this particular box are pretty. Like even if you go to Hallmark, do you always have a pretty insert? Not so much. Okay, so I'm showing you all the same ones. They're different. So there'll be several patterns of envelopes. This is lavender. It doesn't show up on my screen, does it? All right, so super pretty envelopes, but we don't need those right now. So I'm going to throw those back in. One of them is not in right. And I am going to grab an envelope. It looks like I am doing 2 horizontal cards So on the cardstock, they have the creative memories sometimes at the bottom and sometimes the bottom of a vertical and sometimes the bottom of a horizontal. In this case, I'm going to make 2 horizontal cards. So I'm going to take those out, put these in, and show you how fast this goes. All right, so I probably don't even need the ideas, to be quite frank, on these. They're really so easy, but I don't want you to think that I can do this because I'm just so genius. All right, so let's see. This one is from card 12. So I'm going to go to the one that says 12. All right, and then there's a picture. So these are my 12 pieces. This one says 12B. This one says 12A. So this one is going to go down first on my card. Okay, so it's kind of like a bone color. All right, and then 12B is next. I don't even have to look at it. And that is going to go in the middle like that. And then 12C. All right, so this is 12C. So I'm going to, it says kind, thoughtful, Jennifer, sweet, helpful, gentle, compassionate, and caring. So I like that just fine. And I'm going to put it down here. If I don't like it just fine, what would I do? I would go to my bonus ones and pick a different saying that would look just as good on this card. All right. And new this year is the option to decorate the inside as well. So this says 12D inside. I will tell you, not all 12 of them have all of this. What I would probably do is not put it in the middle so that I can put a name at the top and I can write some additional personal information on the bottom. But now it's pretty on the inside too. Is that super cool? So that's one card. So you see, they're not all that hard. This is card 7. So now I'm going to go to the ideas for card 7. You can see how my group here in Virginia, what we do, this is 7A, we actually go to a restaurant and have dinner together. And then afterwards, after they clean away the table, we take about 20 minutes to make our cards. And we get to tell our spouses that, so I just ran out of a tape. Let me see if I have another one. Oh my gosh, you guys, have I come so far that I have an extra tape right here? Before I would have to go to the whole other side of the house to get one during my YouTube video. So, you know, gosh, I am growing in my abilities. All right. How many of you remember when I used to do that? That was when I had 2 little doggies that barked all the time, and now I only have 1 sweet little doggie. All right, so this must be 7C. Something else you may want to do is throw some foam squares on these. This is optional. If you do, it is possible, but not likely. It is possible that you may need extra postage. So if you're going to send a bunch of these out, I would probably, especially if you put something else inside the card, just go make sure it's not too thick. If you have those really, you know how when they had those limited edition thin foam pads, if you have those, they definitely aren't going to be a problem. And I truly, I send these out all the time and I don't, but I have heard people say that sometimes they've had one that didn't go all the way through. But I like to add a little bit of dimension. It makes it look like it was a little bit harder. So that says, thank you. This says, thank you for going out of your way to show that you care. It truly means more than you know. If you think that putting that in there is going to make the card not as versatile, you could always put these with your thank you cards and then add them later. Okay. So that way you could add them if it was appropriate and not add them if it's not. But anyways, I love these. I think they're super beautiful. You can see how super easy they are. This whole box, it's called Burst of Gratitude. They are all thank you cards. So if you are finding yourself needing to say thank you, thank you, thank you a lot, I highly recommend these. 26 bucks. All right, next thing I wanted to show you, this is a new product and it's called Pen Pal Kit. And I love the little box. It has, let's see, how do I get these out? feel like the last time I did this, it just went right out. I don't know what I've done. Oh, I'm not doing it right. Okay, so it's kind of got like a little magnetic closure here. That's so funny. I'm like gonna break it. All right, so here's the vellum. It just makes it look pretty, right? We have this little strap in here that makes it look just pretty. These are some blue cards. And let me find, we have another set of, envelopes, I should say. And here are some yellow envelopes. So I'm showing you side by side because you're going to get two, they're called pen pal. So the idea is if you buy this for yourself, or if you buy this as a gift for somebody that you think would appreciate having a pen pal, the big ones are for the child and the smaller ones are for the adult. And I love this. Like, this is right into the heart of what I love about creative memories, and that's passing on stories to our families. And kids these days, they don't even get mail. It is so rare that a child would get a real letter. They might get a text or an email or something like that, but not so much paper mail. It's almost a lost art. And I love getting mail. I love so much to see your handwriting when you send me letters. It always makes my day. So that's what I love about this. I feel like this is teaching the next generation about writing letters, but it's even more than that. It's about passing down history. So the kiddo in the group, like if I was the adult with this, I would take my pieces out, which would be the blues. And let me keep going here. These are kind of the instruction cards, but you're not going to need those. All right. And so then we also have small cards and big cards. So what I would do if I was going to mail this to somebody I love for Christmas is I would take my pieces out and then put these pieces back in the box to mail it to the pen pal. So they get the fun little stickers, and they get the fun little jelly pins. Kids like stickers, so they can decorate their card. All right, and the cards are color coordinated, and the grown-up would send the card first. All right, they would get started first, okay? And so I might mail this one to my pen pal, and it gives you a prompt to what to talk about. It says, my best and worst subjects in school were. So you have a whole card to tell about your best and worst subjects. And because you're the adult, you could kind of give more detail. There's even place for more stuff on the back. And what this will do, again, I see this as a grandma with grandchild, or maybe even mom with a stepchild, maybe that doesn't, not a stepchild, but yeah, maybe like if you have a child or a stepchild that doesn't live with you, I feel like that would be a great way to stay in contact. And I'm sure you all can think of all other kinds of scenarios. So this, you write this important thing down, you mail it off, and then the pink one is the one that they are supposed to return to you, where they tell you their favorite subjects in school are blank because, and they can also write a little bit more if they want to, and then they throw it in the envelope and send it on. So anyways, I hope you love this. I think it's so genius and such a thoughtful idea for our younger generation to stay in touch and also to learn from our older generation. Okay, dokie. So that is the pen pal kit. Do not try to push it through. It is a little flap here. Okay. All right. So that takes care of that. $30 for that set. All right. And then this is something, when these first came out, they were really, really hot. And I realized they're still there with only a $45 price point. which if you run the numbers, these are limited edition colors. So you can't buy these any other way. Okay, they're limited edition colors. They are, these are in the pastel family and they're dot pens. They're great for baby albums in summer and spring. And then these are brighter, but they're also softer in the brighter. And you cannot buy these any other way. But what's really genius about this is these normally sell for $4.50 a piece. The dot pens sell for $5 a piece. And this little thing that they're being stored in, and you even have a few other places to store a few other pens if you have them, maybe your black, your ones that you use the most, is that this is a roll where you can roll it up and close it up and then throw it in your bag. Okay, so if you run the numbers, even if I did 12 pens times $4, that would be $46. And this is $45 with 450 pens and $5 pens and this roll. So this is under the deals section on our website, and I highly recommend it. This is the only way you can get these colors. It's great if you're gonna, and you don't have to store these particular pens in, but instead of bringing your whole bin of pens to a crop, you could bin, if you're working on Christmas pages or you're working on vacation pages, you could bring just the colors in here that you think you're most likely to use. All right. So I think this is genius. I hope you like it. And I think it's on Last Chance. It's been around for a while. It was an oldie but goodie that I just saw and realized what a price break that was and wanted to share. All right, so let's go on. Actually, last week I taught you some inking things with the Christmas bundle, and I actually finished the page with that. Remember, I showed you one of these borders last week? Well, I did another one, and I made this little journal box last week, and I just showed what a beautiful page this makes. This is the new Rhythm, blade that goes with the trimmer. This guy. This is a newer one that just came out. So anyways, I want to show you how cute it was. This is an embellishment from the Magic of Christmas line. And I love it. So let's do a fun little winter page today. What you're going to want to do, we're going to start by making a snowman. And I'm going to use regular white paper. It's regular white. We have bright white and regular white. And I on purpose am going to use both of them on this layout. And this, so if you have the cutting patterns, we have 3 of them, a small, a medium, and a large. We're going to use the medium and the small on our snowman today, but you can do any combination of these. All right, and so on the medium one, I am going to cut 1 circle with my blue blade on the inside. Then I am going to cut another one with my red blade on the inside. Oh man, I got a little too close, but it doesn't matter. And then I am going to do another one with the red blade on the inside of the small. So I use the red blade twice and the blue blade only 1 time. All right. Next, what we're going to do, I'm going to end up building on white. So I'm going to build white on white. So to give it a little bit of pop, what I'm going to do is I am going to grab my gray, because when I think of snowmen, I love how white and pretty they are, but there's no way, at least in my area, we're not like those states that give tons of snow. When we get snow, there's going to be leaves in our snowball and dirt and stuff, so that they're not always nice and stark white. So I don't know if you all have that problem or not, but I thought this is going to be really realistic for a snowman in our area. So I'm going to put a little bit of gray just around the edges of this to make it pop. You can do a little or a lot. It's totally up to you. I'm gonna do that on all 3 of my snowballs. By the way, the line that I'm using today is a relatively new line. It's called Winter Bliss. Right now, I'm just working on regular white cardstock. And I am using the ink that is still available. The ink is called Gray Flannel. And I know that the brushes are sold out, and I'm sorry about that because I do like the matching brushes, but I understand that in the new year, we will have more brushes. So don't be sad. You can use makeup little wedges. That's what I used to always use when we did this before. Now I feel really grown up though with these brushes. I think they're so pretty. So easy and convenient to use. All right, so I'm not, you know what? I'm gonna do one more thing before I pack this up. So while you have your white out, I want you to go ahead and I think what I'm gonna do is clean this up a little bit. Because I'm going to do a border with that new snowflake punch. This is crazy pretty, isn't it? So don't forget when you do a border punch, there's a little black mark that you want to line up your paper with. Either one will work. It just depends on how you're holding your punch as to which one you're going to line it up with. That one is the one I always use for mine. I am right-handed though, and that is probably why. Okay, not off to a good start here. There we go. Got a little tangle there. It's causing that. So we'll say that is not common. I haven't had any issues so far with tangles. All right, so I'm going to get rid of these scraps for us. And I'm going to go ahead also, you can see where I did a little mistake there. I'm going to go ahead and pop that off. Little whiskers. Any more? Yeah, a little whisker here. No biggie when that happens. It's hard to be perfect all the time, girls. It really is. And that's why I try to build your self-esteem by making mistakes all the time. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to also kind of rough up these snowflakes by adding just a little bit of gray on the edges of those as well. And I do have an idea where we're going, but this is kind of an experiment. I think it's going to look good. I do. I feel pretty good about it. All right. And then I'm going to do the other side. So this is going to make it pop when you put a white on a white. And I really do love white. All right. So there we go. All right, so I like that. I'm going to get these out of the way now before I put my hand in it. All right, so that takes care of that. What else do we want to do? All right, so this next little thing we're going to do, and I have done this already today, so I feel good about if I just remember what I did. All right, so I am going to mark it up a little bit. All right, I cannot wait. I am so excited about that new tool that we're probably going to get. I think we're going to get a straight tool. I know that Advisors got one. And I don't think it's too late for you to get one if you're thinking about being an advisor. A lot of us are in desperate search of an advisor or two to try it out. So if you're one of those, please let me know. We do get advanced things. What I'm doing is I'm putting a dot on my 5. Then here is my 6 right here. And I want to go 1 inch in. And if I had that stinking ruler thing that would go over my mat right now, wow, would that be genius? If you don't feel comfortable with going over an inch without it, right now, what you could do, I wonder if this is an inch strip. You could use your border maker. Is this an inch? Oh gosh, this is almost like exactly an inch. No, it's an inch and a quarter. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this to help me a little bit. This is an inch. This is the 6. I'm just going to go right over from the 6 and put a little dot there. Okay, man, I can't wait for that that thing. That would have been a really cool thing to show you guys. I didn't even think about it until I started thinking how easy it would be with it. All right, so I'm going to pop the straight trimmer out, the straight blade out. I'm going to throw in the new rhythm blade, and I am going to cut from this dot to that dot first. So what I need to do is put the dot in the first track there. And then what we're gonna do to make sure it's right is we're gonna use this little thing to make sure it's going right through that dot. I might go on the other side of the dot so that it actually is totally gone. And then let's see what is happening down here. Hold on. I did the dot kind of small, so you might not even be able to see it. All right, so hopefully you can though. This little thing moves to tell me where the blade's gonna cut. So I am going to start by lining this white mark that's on the side of my carriage with that blue mark and then go all the way down. All right. Then what I'm going to do, I am going to go to the 1 inch mark over here and then cut from there up. So this is at the 6, so we can line it up with this line here. I love all the markings on this, don't you? It makes it so easy. All right, it looks like I'm almost there. There we go. That's good. So this is white, the one called bright white. It's a little bit different color, and I love it. And then I am going to add this little sticker die on there. Wish I had thought it through. I would have used my anti-stick powder and some foam squares on this, but I didn't. So we're just going to stick it down like that. All right, and I'm going to work, one of the colors that they recommended for this line was a color called Cool Gray. I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do this. Wouldn't that be cute? It's kind of a different look, isn't it? All right, stay with me. I'm going to take my Snowman. To be honest, I'm doing this only because I screwed up. So what I wanted to do is put one here and one here, but I put the sticker on the wrong side. So I am, so I hope you are feeling extremely good about yourself today. But I'm going to keep going because I still think this is going to be gorgeous. And I'm excited about this. And I'm going to work on Cool Gray. Oh yeah, this is beautiful. This piece is out of the way for a second. Okay, and then I did that page. Remember that page I showed you all? I think it was last week. I had these scraps left over and I decided I wanted to use these also. I think I'm going to put it under though. So this is from Winter Bliss. If you like these paper combinations, it's Winter Bliss. I'm going to put it up a little bit, maybe like a 1/2 inch. Yeah. No, it's about a 1/2 inch because I'm using my board to help me guide it. All right, so that's Butamus. Let's do the same thing over here. a little bit poking out the top. I have somebody that watches me that says, I hate it when you're so slap happy with your board. And I was slap happy with my board down here. So she's probably not pleased with that. And that's why it wasn't perfect. All right, so there's that. All right, that's super pretty. All right, and then we're going to, I'm going to do a layer of snowflakes here. My scissors. We do have holiday scissors. If having red and green scissors puts you in the mood, you should probably snatch up some of those. Let's put that down here. And where's that snowman? Not totally sure what I did with him. Here he is. All right. So we're going to put this guy at the bottom. I'm going to tuck him under the snowflake. I think I'm going to go closer to the edge. And the head. Yeah, I like him. He's cute. All right, and I'm gonna grab a pen. I think probably black would be fantastic. I'm gonna throw a couple eyeballs on him with there's a fine tip pen in our pens and then a darker, a bolder one. And I'm using the bolder one here. And I'm gonna do some big eyeballs. And then I'm gonna do a charcoal smile there. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of orange for his nose. And I'm just, I'm just gonna cut. I'm not gonna be too precise. Just a piece of orange for his nose. All right, and I'm gonna probably just go ahead and put the adhesive down first and throw his nose down and then wipe away. I'm using Repo, so I'm able to wipe what I don't need away. All right, and then what I thought I would do with this excess is go up and just add some more snowflakes in this area. So I'm just gonna put adhesive on all of it. Be careful with this. Repo definitely. And don't be too slap happy with it. I'm going to start by overlapping because I did kind of down here, I overlapped those a little bit. And maybe so that I have a little bit more, I'm going to break it there. And then maybe put this one there. All right, so that gives me a little bit more snowflakey, a little bit more texture up there. I don't think we need two snowmen. So I think that's super cute. And maybe, and again, we're just kind of playing here. Do we like that? Snow cute? I do, actually. I'm going to throw that on there with some thumb squares. I could see little bambinos running around making a snowman. Did I tell you guys that my little girl, my youngest, is expecting a little baby in April? I am just so stinking excited. That will be our first little grandbaby, God willing. Say some prayers for our sweet Reagan and Ricky and their growing baby. We're so excited. So we'll put that there. Okay, snow cute. All right, and then I grabbed a couple of mats from that. I really like this one. You all know why, right? because I am going to cut this out and then I'm going to get 2 for 1 out of there. We're going to get a mat and a journal box. I am going to remember to take out that and put in the straight blade. Don't forget to put it back in so that you don't lose yours. And I am just going to cut off a 1/2 inch all the way around. All right, so I have it at the top. I'm going up here. My white thing is lined up to the 1/2 inch mark. This says 6.5. I'm going to back up to the 6 so that my white line is lined up to that 6. And we're going to do that all the way around. So we're at 4.5. I'm going to back up to the 4. My white line is on here. We're going up to the 1/2 mark at the top. And we're going around. There we go. We're going to repeat what we did. You can also use your cut lines because there's a white mark on this side too. That makes it nice and easy. And then one more. When you do this a lot, you don't even really hardly pay attention because you know about how big a 1/2 inch is. So now what I have is a beautiful journal box and a place to put a picture as well. So my 4x6 photo is going to fit perfectly on here. And what I'm probably going to do is nestle that close to that snowman. You all could add a cute little scarf to him. You know what? Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. That would be cute. You know what? I'm looking to see if I have the perfect thing for that. I'm going to go, actually, let's see. Let me look at Noteworthy first. See if I have a scrap. I do. I do have a piece. All right, and I'm just going to cut a piece from here. Not very much, maybe I don't even think a 1/2 inch. I think I'm going to go with a 1/4 inch. So I'm going to go with about even with that gray thing there. And I'm going to go ahead and just put one round here. Yeah. And then what I'm going to do is cut another little bit longer. And then kind of notch it a little bit. Do you like it nice and long like that? I do. You might want to put some arms on him too, guys. Let's do that. Let's put some arms on him. I'm going to grab that black pen again. And this time I'm going to go for the little thin side and throw some arms on him. Usually they're like stick arms, right? All right, so there we go. I love him. Isn't he cute? All right, and then this one, ooh, the other side is light blue. I kind of like that. I'm going to go with the light blue on this one. Okay. That's super pretty, isn't it? All right, so now we have room for several more pictures at the top, 2 or 3. And then over here, we're going to do a journal box, probably here. I would probably go ahead and I'd use my perforating blade from my trimmer on that. Perforating. Taking out this. I'm going to do a vertical box on this one. And I am going to do this quickly because I think I showed you how to do this last week. I'm picking a line, and then after I do that, I'm going to scoot 2 lines each go so that I have plenty of room to journal. You can, if you write really small, do one railroad track, but I'm doing 2 railroad tracks at a time. I'm going to go all the way down. If I don't use the lines, that doesn't really matter, does it? But I have them there if I need them. All right. And then probably, let me see if I have something fun for that one as far as a sticker. Yes, how about some snowflakes? So let's go ahead and stick that down. You can see the back is pretty too. Even when I cut that away, you could see that this would be a great embellishment. I could cut out that circle and use that as an embellishment, but we're not because we're going to use this as the journal box today. With a couple of snowflakes to go with the rest of the theme. I think I'm going to put them where? At the bottom. I'm going to put them at the bottom, one there. And I'm going to pop a couple of them with thumb squares. Do you all love thumb squares? It is probably something that I use on every single page. Love them. So maybe a light blue one, and then maybe a gray one, two. A little square on it, and then you pull away the top piece. And I'm going to add that there. All right, and so you can see I have plenty of room. And more pictures on this side. And I think I made a really good mistake because I really like the way this looks. All right, so hope that you like this, and I hope you got some ideas, and I hope you will like my video and share with your friends to follow Scrapbook with Beckie. Again, if you need supplies, please shop on my website. If you have any questions, you can find me, you can email me, you can contact me, get added to my mailing list if you are a potential client. You're not always already working with an advisor and you would like to be updated, you know, when I do my demos, like for my clients. I have a long distance group of people that like to do that too. You can find me at scrapbookwithbeckie.com, www.scrapbookwithbeckie.com. Okay, so thanks so much for watching. You all have a great week. Oh, and I can't wait to see my peeps at my open house on Friday and Saturday. Don't forget to let me know if you're coming so that I will have your free gift. Okay, bye.